everyone, Spsa here, and welcome to Spsa Review Stuff, the Spsa Comics Marathon Reloaded, a sequel series of sorts to the Spsa Comics Marathon that I did throughout 2020 to last year. Anyway, without further ado, let's hop right into the introduction to this sequel series. Now, this should go without saying, but if you haven't seen the previous review, go do that with the link in the description. Because a lot of this isn't going to make sense if you haven't seen that first review. Well, the first part of the marathon. I have packaged it all together into one 2-hour-long video. Now, if you don't want to watch that, I'm not going to make you sit through 2 hours of content. But if you want to watch it, go do that. Anyway, on to the actual review. Here we are, the first parts, the introductory section to Spsa Review Stuff, the Spsa Comics Marathon Reloaded. The Freedom Rewrite. Now you're probably wondering, hey dummy, you already did that in the original Spsa Comics Marathon. Yes, I did, but that was parts 1 through 40, which are these two. So if you want to see my coverage of that, go watch that review. This is going to be parts 41 through 50. Yes, I know it says 41 through 60, but I haven't written parts 51 to 60 yet. So, but I wanted to show off, since this is the 50th part of Freedom, I wanted to show it off, plus talk about how this isn't just a continuation of the original comic, but a reboot. So, let me set the stage and basically read verbatim the recap that was in part 40, so you guys get a understanding of what happened before. The world was gone. Infinite wiped out our timeline. We were back to square one. All of our work was wasted. So what did we work to do? Well, let me explain. Our first fight was against Reject Guy. His goal was to use the 7 pages of creation to destroy the multiverse. But little did we know, there was an even bigger threat looming over us. Reject Guy sacrificed his soul to the demon Nomad. So Reject Guy teamed up with us to defeat the demon. I also died. Nomad killed me. So my team traveled back in time to defeat Nomad. Rest in peace, I guess. Not moments later, we receive our next threat. Ha 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 ha! Dr. Eggman. He wanted to conquer the world. What a surprise. We swiftly defeated him. What do you want from me, a detailed explanation? That's what reading the comic is for. And last but not least, 75 years later, at your mother's house. We were up against Infinite. His ultimate goal was to rewrite the timeline. So that was it. The anarchy wave had been triggered, and the timeline was reset. Who knows what'll happen next? Oh, shit. To be continued. So, that was the basic synopsis of all the things that happened during the first 40 parts of Freedom. So, what happens next? Well, that's what the entire rest of this video is going to be, me explaining what happens next. I'm just going to let Spsa explain this beginning part, and then I'll elaborate. I woke up, and everything was different. Well, it looked like my home, but everything seemed off. All I remember was a bright flash, and then nothing. So, that bright flash Spsa speaks of, that is the anarchy wave that wiped out the entire timeline from these parts. So nothing that happened in these will carry over to this. The anarchy wave wipes out the timeline, and Spsa is just wondering what the fuck is going on. This forest is new, but I don't remember anything. Weird, I didn't know anyone came through here. I feel as though I'm being watched. Yeah, so, Spsa is pretty much forced to meet. Well, he does meet Juan, as you can see from his narration there, but, and so he meets Juan, and then he runs into Fire Knight. He's just there. He claims he's the biggest brain in Comic Town, which is true. So yeah, and then WAIT, a gag from the original comic turned very important. But Spsa just calls it Dub. Dub is an artificial intelligence program that it's basically like Nicole from the Archie comics, except not nearly as advanced yet, at least. So yeah, and then basically Reject Guy's motive is basically the same here. Reject Guy has taken over Comic Town and has enslaved all of its inhabitants, except for, of course, Juan and Fire Knight, who happen to, I guess, slide under the radar, if you will. So, yeah, Reject Guy is still trying to get the 7 pages of creation to cause havoc throughout the multiverse, but, there we go. But the difference between here and the original comic is he's not working for anyone. He isn't working for Nomad. Now, I want to go over something. You're probably like, wait, due to recent development, how is SPSA's character going to work? Are you going to gender bend him, or are you going to do something completely different? Considering SPSA has been an established character that has been in the comics for, God, near a decade, I'm not really changing him at all. Instead, what I'm doing, for a character, but back on topic. Instead, what I'm doing is this, a gender bent version of him that hails from somewhere. I haven't revealed where yet. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing here. But yeah, so part 50 ends with the characters trying to come up with a plan to get the other pages before Reject Guy does. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Onto Plush Me for the outro. Alrighty guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that first part of SPSA Comics Reloaded, or the SPSA Comics Marathon Reloaded. Join me next time when we actually dive into SPSA's character. Yeah, so see you guys then.